It's the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and it's time to talk Sunraysia netball now. And I tell you what, netball associations and football leagues out there who want to know why the government has done what it's done and allowed crowds back in this week need look no further than Sunraysia's little innovative program from last week. What they did, I think, forced the government's hand. So hats off to Sunraysia footy and netball, and hats off to the Ouyen Kangas who were a part of it. The head Kanga joins me on the line now to talk netball. It's Caitlin Vine. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. All seemed to work pretty well last weekend.
Yep. It was short notice, but all went really smoothly last weekend. We travelled to Houston and had the juniors play in Robinvale just because we had the one oval and one courts. But it was fantastic, and I know that the other teams played all theirs in New South Wales, and it was really successful.
You'll be able to get back to normal this week, and we'll get to this week's games later on. But first of all, let's have a look at your A-grade clash. Ouyen United taking on Robinvale, and you beat them comfortably, 53-26.
Yeah, it was a really interesting game. Robinvale held quite tight in the first quarter. I think there was maybe one or two in it. Gave us a bit of a shock, I think. They had some really, really great netball, and they're quite a short side too. So they don't look dangerous, but they certainly were in that first quarter and a little bit into the second. But then just really slowed down and started to play some very different netball, and unfortunately were a bit slower than us, so started to run through us a little bit. And Ouyen were just comfortable and clean throughout it, and we got away with the win. So it was a really good game for us as a team. Fantastic by the A-grade girls.
Excellent. What about the rest of the club? How did you go? The B grade, they had a win? Oh, no, sorry. Did they go down or did they have a win? How did that work?
No, the B grade girls did have a win. We ended up winning by, I think, 6 goals. It was a nail-biter of a game, and I think without the crowds, Ouyen wouldn't have got over the line. The B grade for Robinvale had a really, really tough and tight defence. So hats off to them. They played an amazing game. The B grade were just lucky enough to come on top in the last quarter.
The C and the C Resis, so the C grade won a thriller, I believe, and the C Resis had it was a pretty similar scoreline to the B grade.
Yeah, so both of those games were also pretty tight. C grade was definitely a nail-biter. The girls have really found their team now, so they had a fantastic game, but it was a really tight one. It definitely wasn't easy. What
about the juniors? I think the 17-1s had a good win, is that right?
Yeah, we had an awesome day over in Robinvale with the juniors, and 17s played in Houston. 17 1s and 2s both got their wins, which was really exciting. They played some fantastic netball, especially in the wet, which was awesome to see. Our 15s, Robinvale won the 15s game, but our girls have got their best score yet and played their best game. And our 13s both won as well, and the 11s had a good run around. So it was an awesome day for Ouyen last weekend, and we're hoping that we can run into this week with the same kind of force.
Big weekend for the Kangas. The other A-grade matches from last week, let's just have a quick look at those before we move on. Thriller between Imperials and South Mildura, and it was Imperials getting the job done there, 55-54. So that is a big win for them.
Yeah, huge. Puts them in a really good spot. Moving forward, I think that was always going to be a tough one, sort of looking at the top 4 who might crack it. So good on Imperials for getting the win.
Yep. Wentworth did what they needed to do against Irimple. In fact, did it on the bid in the end by 25 goals, 66-41. Big win for them.
Yeah, big win. I am not surprised. They're just so strong, and as I've mentioned earlier, Irimple have had a bit of a change-up with their team, so I think Wentworth are just clearly the people to beat. They're just outstanding.
And Redcliffs, gee whiz, they're getting closer. They've gone down again to Merbeen. A winless side with a percentage of over 60 is not something you see all that often. Merbeen 55, Redcliffs 40. They can score. They just can't stop the opposition from scoring.
Yeah, that's really tough. They need a win. I'm hoping that they can get one, and hopefully it's not against us. But, yeah, they're definitely contenders. It's they'll just keep cracking at it. Who knows? Who knows what will happen?
Okay, let's have a quick look at the ladder, because there's been an adjustment here. You can help me out here with this one. So Wentworth are on top of the ladder, Ouyen second on 20 points, just the one loss. Imperials and Irimple have the same record, but here's where there's a change. Irimple have 4 less premiership points than Imperials. Why is that?
Apparently, and this is I'm not 100% confirmed, but I did see it on the My Netball, that there were some unregistered players playing. So I wasn't 100% sure what grade it was in, but if the points have been taken from the A grade, then it means it must have been in there. But, yeah, really unfortunate. I'm sure it was just a missight, but
a clerical error. Yeah,
a clerical error, but got to be so careful with those things. So that's unfortunate for them, but I guess good for the other sides who get to move up the ladder a bit.
Well, it does throw the door open now to Mildura and South Mildura, who are tied on points, and even Merbeen, who are only a game back from a spot in the 4 all of a sudden. So it does throw the door open to the season a little bit, which is interesting. Otherwise, we're going to have a bit of a break, I guess, between the top 4 and the bottom 5. So I guess that's a good thing, but it's probably not the way you want to go about it.
No, it's really not ideal, and it's not a good feeling to lose points that way. So hopefully everyone's got themselves sorted now and we can move on.
Big games this weekend. Ouyen United, you hitting the road this week?
Yeah, we're heading up to Mildura. So we thought we might have been playing in Gold on Sunday, but we're confirmed we're playing in Mildura in Victoria. Looking forward to it. This comes back to our first round again, so eager to get the win again.
Big game. Obviously, you'll probably you'd start favourites here clearly, but you'll have to be on your mettle.
Definitely. We had an unfortunate injury against Robinvale last week with one of our star A graders out. So we're going to probably change our team up a little bit, but I think our A grade still will be very strong. They're doing great things.
All right, let's have a look at the other A grade matches, and I'll get your tips on those. South Mildura, Irimple. This is a big game all of a sudden with that change in points. So can South get the job done here, or will Irimple be too good?
It's so hard because we haven't seen Irimple play. That's one of the teams that we've missed out on. So I think going from previous results, I still think Irimple might be able to get it. But South are coming in hot. Could be a tough one, but I'm going to say Irimple.
This one isn't as difficult. Top versus bottom. Wentworth away to Redcliffe, so that won't matter. They'll win.
Yep, easy by the Wentworth girls, I think.
Yes, and this one will be tough. Robinvale taking on Merbeen. Merbeen should win this. They've got a bit to play for still, not that Robinvale don't, but I think Merbeen are just probably in a little bit better form.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. It just depends who can push out the 4 quarters. I know watching both sides, sometimes they've dropped off a little bit, so whoever can play 4 quarters consistently will come out on top regardless of, I guess, their team.
All right, well, good luck to the Kangas girls this weekend, heading off to Mildura. Caitlin, thank you very much for joining us. Anything else before we wrap up?
No, all good. Thank you. Go Kangas.